Hey everyone, what's up? Ken Horowitz from Sega16.com, back again with another pickup video. I've got some Sega stuff, I've got some Nintendo stuff, and I got some Xbox stuff. Haven't really bought a lot recently. Summer is usually a slow time for me, saving up my money for vacation. I'll be going on vacation soon, and I'm heading over to East Starland to buy some games there in Maryland. And I will definitely be posting a pickup video of that, and I hopefully will be allowed to take video from inside the store, and I'll upload that as soon as it's done. But I did get some good stuff. I'm gonna start with the Xbox stuff and work my way to the Sega stuff last. The first game I got for the Xbox One was Fallout 4. I beat it. I've absolutely loved Fallout 3, loved Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 4 was great. Haven't played the DLC yet. I beat it and I wanted to give it a little bit of a break before I went and jumped into the DLC, so I'll have to get that. I don't have the season pass because I don't usually go and buy all the DLC. There's some DLC that doesn't really interest me. So, but I will absolutely be playing through the DLC that, like Far Harbor. But this was a great game. I did like Fallout 3's environment a bit more. I mean, I like that this was urban, and it looked a lot better. The graphics were much better, but I don't know, the quest overall in Fallout 3 I kind of like more. I got this recently and I haven't played it yet, Batman Arkham Knight. I have all the other Batman games, so I want to play through this one. This was, got it pretty cheap, and people tell me the Batmobile stages aren't the best, but hopefully the game's as good as the others were. I also got Resident Evil Revelations 2, which, if you see me looking over there, it's because I'm looking at the computer screen to make sure there's no glare on the box. I enjoyed the first one, beat it on the 3DS, and hopefully this one will be as good. I mean, it's got Barry in it. I wonder if he has any cheesy one-liners like he did in the original Resident Evil. The game I've been playing most recently for the last month or so has absolutely been Dark Souls 3. Get some glare there, there you go. Dark Souls 3. This game is, I love the Souls series. I have Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and 2. This is far and away the best of the Souls game. I'm playing, I only have the Nameless King and the final boss battle, and I'm done with it. And I'm using a Fume Ultra Greatsword, strength level 50, dexterity level 40, and my character's an absolute monster. And it is wonderful. I mean, I just love the environments. These games, people say they invoke the spirit of old-time games that are very difficult. I don't enjoy them as much for that as I enjoy them for the fact that they actually, the sense of loneliness, the sense of you know, you're on your own. You're stuck deep in this hostile environment, all on your own, and you've got nothing but your skills and your wits to survive, and a bow and arrow. If you play any of the Souls games, get a bow and arrow. Some of the bosses become very easy. Some situations that are very difficult become very easy with a bow and arrow. Trust me on that. But this is an absolutely wonderful game. If you got PC, if you got an Xbox 4, if you have a PC obviously, but if you play on PC, if you got a PS4, or you got an Xbox One, you need to get this game. Awesome. Next I got some Nintendo stuff, not a lot really. I got some NES games. I got G.I. Joe, the Atlantis Factor, which is okay. I like the original G.I. Joe a lot more, but this one's okay. I got it at a really good price too, so I'm happy because these games have kind of gone up in price. You know, everything is going up in price now in retro gaming, but the G.I. Joe games especially just went boom, they just spiked in price. So I was really happy to be able to get this one at a decent price. Donkey Kong Classics. I love Donkey Kong. Always have. I mean, I used to, when I was a kid, my brother and I used to walk a couple of miles into town on a Sunday to go to a pharmacy, which was the only place that was open in the entire town on a Sunday practically, and just to play Donkey Kong and drink soda and eat candy. So Donkey Kong's been in my life since it first came out, and while these are not arcade perfect versions, they are excellent versions to play. And the last one was the latest NES game I got for a really good price. Elevator Action, another one of my favorite arcade games. The NES version is pretty darn good. pretty darn good for the hardware, and it's pretty accurate, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to play. So it's always good to find games, not just NES games at a good price, but NES games that I used to play back in the day and that are still fun to play, because I still play Donkey Kong. I still play Donkey Kong. I mean, I'll put away my next-gen consoles and pull out Donkey Kong or Ladybug or Galaxian or any of these old classics and play them. A timeless game is timeless because not because of the graphics, but because they're just fun to play. The only SNES game I got is a Super Famicom game called Treasure Hunter G. A friend of mine sold me the Super Famicom version for $5, and as soon as I got home and read up a little bit about it, I found that supposedly this was the last treasure game that was released in the US. I mean, the release for the Super Famicom. It was the last 16-bit treasure game. But more interestingly, as soon as I got home and read about it, I found out that there is a fan translation. So I could actually just emulate it and play it in English. I don't have a EverDrive for the Super Nintendo yet, but I will. And one of the things I plan to do is get the fans translation of this, because I started to play through it, because it's not impossible in Japanese, but of course it's not as easy, not as manageable. But what I was playing I really, really liked, so I would rather play it without the language barrier. Last things I got a couple of Dreamcast games. I got Sega Rally 2, which was fun to play until about year 6. And then the game just says, oh, you're still playing? Let me fix that for you. And it ramps up the difficulty to almost impossible levels. Of course, you can't play online anymore, but I did play it back online in the day, and I remember people, I don't know if they were using the Pro Action Replay or Game Shark or whatever, but I remember cars flying through the skies all over the place, and it was practically impossible to find a stable, regular, normal, decent game online, so that wasn't really a big loss for me. But what really kills this game for me is the fact that it just gets so hard so quickly. I would probably rather play, if I'm going to play any racing game on the Dreamcast, I'd rather probably just play Le Mans 24 Hour, which is my favorite one. But if I'm going to play a rally game, I'm probably just going to play Rally Sport Challenge 2 on the original Xbox, because this game just gets too hard too fast. And the other game I got was Blue Stinger. Now yes, I actually got my Dreamcast back on $99.99. I still have the Electronic Boutique bag, the Sonic bag that they gave. And they gave you the free preview issue of Sega Dreamcast magazine. And I bought my Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure and with Blue Stinger. Everybody else bought Soul Calibur and NFL 2K, which is precisely why I didn't buy those games. So that way my friends and I could lend each other our games, and we'd be able to play everything. But I also bought Blue Stinger because Blue Stinger was very Resident Evil-like. It's kind of campy, kind of cheesy. It was back then. It's probably insanely more so now. But it's still a solid, underrated survival horror game. Just like Carrier. If anyone knows of Carrier by Jellico on the Dreamcast, it's a very underrated survival horror game as well. But I really like Blue Stinger, and I got it for $5. And of course, just like Sega Rally, it's complete in an excellent condition, so it's always nice to get complete games for Dreamcast cheap, because Dreamcast is also going through the ceiling in price. I got also, for Genesis, I got some Genesis games. I got Micro Machines, which I really, really wanted. I got it for $5 as well. Hang tab is kind of busted there, but the game is complete and in great shape. Otherwise, I can always swap out the clamshell case. Well, actually, I can't swap out the clamshell case because this is a J card, and J cards have a specific type of clamshell. So I'll probably just tear off what's left of that hang tab there, and that's it. But the rest of the game is in great shape, and this is a really, really fun racer that I'm glad to have. I also got a complete copy of Blackout. I'm not 100% sure if I mentioned this already. I'm pretty sure I didn't. If I did, forgive me for mentioning it again. I think I mentioned Clax in another video. But Blackout is kind of like a 3D Tetris, or tried to be a 3D Tetris, but it was a really slow game and the perspective didn't really help. I don't know if this is the kind of game you'd want to play from this type of perspective. It's fun, but it can be a little bit slow and tedious. But I'm always looking for interesting Genesis games. See, I'm to the point with my Genesis collection. I have over 400 US games. I'm not trying for a complete collection. I'm just buying games that either I like or look interesting. And so any game that I find that looks even remotely interesting and that's complete, because that's the rule, I don't want anything Sega that's not complete, I'll buy it. I'll pick it up just to give it a try. If it hasn't been reviewed, I'll review it for Sega 16, maybe do a double take if it already has been. But at the very least, I want to try. I want to go back and look at all these Genesis games that I never got a chance to play. And I remember vaguely playing Blackout back in the day, but I didn't really play it in depth. So I was playing it this time around, and it's okay, but it's not really a spectacular, wonderful thing. And the last two games I got were by Super Fighter Team. The same people who made Beggar Prince, Legend of Wukong, and Star Odyssey. And the first game I got from them was Cascade, which, I don't know if that's fuzzy or not. Cascade, which is a neat little puzzle game. I've never played this one before, so it'll be interesting to see how it is. Of course, it never came out in the West because it was only released in Taiwan. So it's now the Super Fighter games are in these little cardboard clamshell cases, kind of like the late Genesis games were. They are of higher quality. They're glossy. This isn't a protective case because I always put the cardboard games in cardboard boxes in a protective case, but the cardboard itself is glossy, thicker, and a lot stronger than the original Genesis games. And the manuals are full color. They look more like a Mega Drive manual than a Genesis manual. So the quality is about as high as you can get with a cardboard box game. So I'm really interested to see how this one plays out. I'm not a huge puzzle gamer fan, but I do like puzzle games, so I'm really eager to play this one. And the other game I got was Magic Girl, sorry. Magical Girl is a song from Jet Set Radio. Magic Girl. Sega 16 does have a review for this game, but it's for the original Chinese ROM. This one, Super Fighter Team got the rights from GameTech, and of course they've done all kinds of bug fixes and improvements, and I'm eager to see exactly how much it's been improved. I tried to play the original ROM, but it just wasn't, it was too rough. There wasn't the quality. The game was very, very rough in terms of hit detection and things like that, so I hope that's fixed here. Manual is also full color, glossy box, so I'm interested to see how these two releases have been improved, to see exactly how they've come out. It's always nice to have new Genesis games, of course, and I'm very happy that these are officially licensed games, so I'll be reviewing both of these pretty soon. The other big haul I got, I guess, was news that my book on Sega of America, called Playing at the Next Level, finally has a cover, and it should be released late this fall. And it's already available for pre-order on Amazon.com, and I'll put the link in the description below. So please check that out and go buy 10 copies or so. Or tell all your friends, please. And please, I hope you take some time to check it out. Over 40 games, the making of over 40 games is discussed in that book. I've interviewed about 100 people, and about 90% of what's in that book has never been discussed publicly. So it'll be a real good read, really interesting read for Sega fans. Like I said, that'll be in the description below. In the meantime, head over to Sega16.com and check out our reviews, features, and interviews. Join the forum and be part of the community. Give us a thumbs up here on YouTube and like us on Facebook. Those addresses are at the beginning of this video. So until next time then, take care.